Hi, my name is Tina Cummins. Welcome back to True Crime Sages. Tonight, once again, we're going to be discussing Delphi homicide case of Libby German and Abigail Williams. So recently, grateful to a YouTube viewer that was watching our channel and they informed me of a law change back in January 2018. I actually looked it up to see if it was accurate, but it is accurate. So in January 2018, they enacted a law that anyone who is accused of a felony, their DNA is collected. I found that very interesting, and consider the long list of people that were, had been discussed on the Delphi homicides and had been arrested. You can pretty much rule out quite a few. So I found something else very interesting as well. On April 19, 2021, James Brian Chadwell was arrested for kidnapping. I think most people know the story at this point in time. Kidnapping, child molestation, assault, and attempted murder. And so, assuming that the police immediately acted on the law, that DNA of an accused felon is going to be collected, I'm certain that they've already collected James Brian Chadwell's DNA. Now, the Journal and Courier, July 22nd, 2021, came out. Let's see, a 7/22/21. Write that down. Okay, so on July 22nd, Journal and Courier reported that they had spoken with Tobe Lesenby, and he said that they are investigating James Brian Chadwell, among others. Now, that's 3 months after his arrest. And you would think at that point in time, they would have had the results of his DNA. It's been reported by Indiana State Police, the FBI, et cetera, that during the Delphi homicide investigation, that DNA was found and collected at the scene. Now, this is 3 months after Chadwell's arrest in April, and they still said they are seriously considering him. So if they already have his DNA, what does that mean? Does that mean that there's possibly someone else who was out there with him? It's a good question. On April, May 21st, Shay Hughes, Chadwell's attorney, said that he asked for a change of venue, stating that, he didn't believe that James Brian Chadwell would get a fair trial in the initial charges having to do with the little girl. That was denied, so he didn't get a change of venue, and subsequently, I think everybody knows at this point that James Brian Chadwell has pled guilty to assaulting and attempted murder of this child. So again, you have to ask yourself, back in July, Tobe Lesenby and you know, the Indiana State Police are saying that they're seriously considering Chadwell. Apparently, they've already got his DNA. So what does that mean? Is he their suspect or is he not? Does the public need to keep looking? Are they still awaiting more tips? Is there someone else involved? Was there other DNA out there? And yeah, it kind of opens the book a little bit. Also, okay, so stepping aside from that for a minute, the other day, someone, for the first time in my life, has called me a Karen. They didn't like my response to what they had stated on one of the videos. And here's my point, okay? A lot of people are believing that JBC is innocent just because he pled guilty for the attack on the 9-year-old. He pled guilty to all charges. Now, he did have one amended charge, and it was, I think, from a level 5 to a level 3 assault. They amended it down a little bit. But in stating that, I responded and someone didn't like what I had to say. Well, if you think that James Bryan Chadwell wouldn't lie, first of all, in that case, he wasn't facing a possible death sentence. Secondly, criminals lie. If you have a 5-year-old that has cookie crumbs on her mouth, and you ask them, did you steal cookies from the cookie jar? Did you take cookies? And they say no. Are you going to believe them? I'm not saying that to be condescending. You see the evidence. You know the kid lied about taking the cookie, and yet they're denying it. So if you know that to be true, why in the world would you ever take the word of someone who is an admitted child killer, admitted to attempting to murder this child? Yeah. So, you know, if you think I'm a Karen, frankly, I don't care. But what I do care is this nonsense that the public just automatically believes, you know, that this criminal, this one of the most horrific criminals that you could possibly be, and they're just going to take his word for it because he says he didn't do it. When asked the question, did you have anything to do with the Delphi homicides? He said no. And so people are just going to believe him because, to me, that's mystifying. Criminals lie frequently. And someone like James Bryan Chadwell, it's not going to bother him to lie to the public. So anyway, we're going to set that aside. Not trying to be insulting or condescending or anything like that. I'm just trying to get people to understand that, you know, generally a criminal will plead not guilty and then try to get a plea bargain. Well, Chadwell wasn't going anywhere. You know, they caught him red-handed with the child in his house. And yeah, we'll leave that there. So again, just consider, if you consider the DNA that law enforcement said they found, that they had DNA, they had signatures. Chadwell was arrested April 19th. On May 21st, his lawyer asked for a change of venue because of the Delphi homicides and people in his family saying that he was capable of that. Then in July, you know, Tobe Lesenby still saying that they're seriously considering him as a person of interest. They haven't named him a suspect, but even in Anthony Greenow's video, you know, Shay Hughes slips and calls him a suspect and then kind of retracts that. And the prosecutor didn't deny it. So is he our Delphi suspect? You know, I wish Indiana State Police would come out, or the FBI, whomever, Carroll County, whatever, and say, yes, he is, or no, he's been ruled out. Should the public keep looking? is there possibly someone else that was, if it is Chadwell, is there possibly somebody else that was out there with him? Okay, so that's all I have for tonight, folks. I hope you have a good night and stay safe. Take care.